Texas. What's the weather in Texas, Frankie?
Right now, there's a tropical hurricane, Category 4 hurricane. Laura's headed towards Louisiana. Texas border is going to bring devastating winds close to 200-kilometer-hour winds.
We also have a question here from Tiran saying, Frankie, can you say hello to my friends Aaron, Evan, and Nathan?
Hi, Aaron, Evan, and Nathan.
There you go. Hello, Frankie. We have Steve Wilkie from Scotland, and he's saying, I'm offering a free bag of Buff Sparks with every long stand purchased. So what's the weather in Scotland, Frankie?
Right now, it's getting really, really windy. There's multiple storms heading for Scotland. It's like windstorm season starting early because La Nina, the cold waters in Pacific.
So get this, Frankie. I'm looking at the chat board, and you can see there. I didn't see it. You probably did. I didn't. It says Matthew Cabana, hi, bass guy, and Frankie. Matthew is outside right now in the car. You want to say hi to Matt?
Hi, Matt. How you doing? I'm doing great so far. You used to, and the bass guy used to own the bassmobile. Now, Matt, you own it now.
Yeah, Matthew has it, and he's driving it between here and like towards Quebec City. So, do you remember, Frankie? We were in Quebec City kind of together.
Yes, when you left Sydney, Nova Scotia after a book launch.
So, hey, now I can speak to Matt on the chat board because he's in his car watching it. That's the cool thing about the internet, Frankie, is people can watch these kind of shows.
That means you got an old video card.
Yeah, I need to get a new video card. I was looking up some of them, and they're like $5,000. I think I found one for $180, so I'm gonna save up for that. The reason my show starts to sometimes the show like can't handle the cameras and it gets all digital and screws up because I need a new video card. But we'll get there. I enjoy the building.
Your old video card goes in the garbage.
Yeah, throw it in the put him in the garbage.
Just imagine doctor picked up the guy, threw him in the garbage at the hospital.
How much trouble would the guy be?
The doctor would be in a lot of trouble.
Tiran says, hey, Frankie, I remember you. I'm from Ireland. Are you coming to Dublin, Ireland?
Yes, absolutely. On my world tour, I'll be going to Russia as well. Hi, Angry of Novosibirsk, Russia. Hi, Bolat Bakraf of Yakutsk, Russia. Hi, Dmitry of Moscow, Russia.
Well, nobody can ever tell anybody they can't do anything. Frankie, you've had your own billboard in town. You've got your own bobbleheads, your own books, your own book. I mean, you've done a lot of amazing things. A world tour wouldn't
on Wednesday,
surprise
September 30th, 2020, I'll be on Rob Slim Show at 10 Atlantic Time, 9 Eastern Time.
We have Luke saying hello to Weather Guy. So it's a bit confusing because Weather Guy is my friend Matt, and Frankie MacDonald does the weather. You understand that, right, Frankie?
Yes, I know. Luke Thomas, he runs at QuakePrediction.com. He gets his earthquake predictions from. He lives in Jupiter, Florida. Luke Thomas is responsible running the website QuakePrediction.com.
Okay, and I saw you had major news for us. What's going to happen in 2022?
It's like a California mega quake. Weather Bill 7 started that.
You made a prediction that there's going to be a 9.0 earthquake
Weather Bill made
California.
A prediction. Weather Bill 7 made a prediction. I warned people.
Okay, you warned people, but you monitor the area as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Frankie, how is the weather? This is from John Jake Mattingly, and he's saying, Frankie, how's the weather in Midwest United States this week?
It's going to be really hot, and then they got hurricane headed towards Arkansas. Then Laura's going to completely miss Missouri altogether. It's going to hit Richmond, Virginia.
It's terrible what's happening in California right now with the fires, isn't it?
So much fires going on in California. I just did Gary and Dino show yesterday. Did you hear about that new guy that interviewed me last night? Brian V. Internet podcast located in South Korea.
Okay, cool. So now you're talking to people. Well, you talk to people all over the world, don't you?
Yes.
You're not just on the Bass Guy show. How many shows do you do every week, Frankie?
I do. I'll be back on the Robin Slim show. I do Team Left Jack, a good friend of Robin Slim, and I do a Gary and Dino show. I did that yesterday. I did Dark Mayo podcast at 9:00 p.m. Atlantic time last night. I did another podcast called Brian V. Podcast.
Steve, my friend Steve, he's a drummer. We were in a band called Mafia together. This guy called Doogie was the singer, and he opened up for the Beatles and the Cavern and all that, and knew the Average White Band and stuff. Steve, the drummer, saying, Frankie, if you come to Scotland, I can guarantee you'll have the boom. Can you tell us about your Scottish history, Frankie?
house in the MacDonald family originating from Scotland.
The MacDonald clan, right? Did they have? Of course, they must have Highland Games in Cape Breton, right?
Yes.
I'm wearing my Cape Breton sweater. It says "Live the Dream." I got this at the Mayflower Mall. Do you know the sweaters that say Cape Breton, Frankie?
Yes.
Do you know the lady at that store?
I did yesterday. I did a Hurricane Laura forecast.
Hurricane Laura. Can you tell me about that, please?
It's going to be a Category 4. It's headed towards Louisiana.
So my brain's scattered all over the place because I have a lot of computer stuff going on here, and we're doing the weather.
What's weather like in Montreal?
And we have weather guy here. The weather, Frankie, this is a big major news for you. The weather has been completely hot for 3 months. It's never been like that before. It even went up to 40, 45 degrees Celsius. Yesterday, in about 1 hour, the temperature just completely dropped and the heating in my apartment came on. It got really, really cold.
And Greta went back to school.
Greta's back at school again. I think she's excited. I saw the photo you sent me. It must be fun to be back in school after this lockdown.
Yes, and Greta will return after she graduates.
She took a year off, right, of school?
Yeah, and Greta's going back and graduate. That's going to be big, huge news when she graduates. Then Greta will be doing climate strikes again.
Yeah, I went to the climate strike in Montreal, and by accident in the morning, I met her and her father walking down the street on an empty street. It was really weird. And by the end of the day, there was 500,000 people. How many is that, Frankie? Imagine 500,000 people in your area.
That means 500,000 people went to see Greta.
It's a lot of people. That means a lot of people care. You know, that's the main thing. People care.
That means that you barely say hi to Greta.
Yeah, I just said hi, and that was it. I didn't really meet her. I just said hi. I was sitting down, and I was lost because I took the train. I'd not been into Montreal in years. And I sat down and looked at my phone, and she walked like right in front of me with her sign upside down and her dad. And I was like, "You're not Greta, are you?" And they just looked and smiled and said hi. And then they walked away, and I was like, "Oh, that was lucky."
Did a security guy show up later?
Yeah, and then he says, "Put your hands behind your back, base guy, you're under arrest." And then put him in the garbage.
when a guy was driving a bike and fell down the mountain, he goes, boo, 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 boo. Then the ambulance to go, to get to the hospital emergency room and say, "Okay, doctor, this guy's off work without throw him in the garbage."
You can't just be throwing people in the garbage because they got bumped their knee on their bike.
How much trouble doctor will be in?
The doctor would be in huge trouble. The media would be involved, and they'd interview him. What would the media ask?
And why did you throw people in the garbage?
Because the doctor says I couldn't fix him, so I just threw him in the garbage.
And that means that then his wife will tell the guy in the garbage, she'll say, "Get in the shower."
Yeah, get in the shower, get in the bathtub and wash up. Because he tried to go to the pub before, And the guy at the bar said, "You can't come in here, you smell like garbage."
Who did this? The doctor.
So this is one of Frankie MacDonald's jokes that we've been working on for a long time.
At the bar, guess what? The guy in the garbage at the bar told the bar that he'll say, "It's not my fault. It's the doctor threw me. It's his fault."
It's his fault, yeah. I'm having fun today. Are you, Frankie?
Yeah. It's his fault. Doctor picked me up, throw him in the garbage because doctor's just too busy.
Yeah, put him in the garbage. So you can't do that. Do you have any other jokes, Frankie?
The police will show up to arrest the doctor.
So do you remember last week someone asked us to play? They asked me to play music and you dance.
Yeah.
Should we try that?
Yes.
Okay. What? Can you give me 2 seconds? I'm just gonna get my bass on. Okay.
Rob and Slim, they'll do the same thing for Rob and Slim show next month.
Okay, so I'm on the Rob and Slim show with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just get a bass guitar.
Yes.
So at the beginning of the show, we made some music. So I'm going to play some music. Frankie likes to dance. Here we go, Frankie. Thank you, Frankie. How did you start your dancing videos?
I did them. That was my own idea.
What kind of views do your dancing videos get, Frankie?
A lot of views. And he'd like to introduce the vampire Frankie MacDonald, just like on Gary Dino show. I'm gonna get you out of kill on Halloween. I'm not gonna do this 2020.
Halloween. I love Halloween, Frankie. Do you like Halloween?
Yeah. And did you hear about that? And did you hear about that? Grad is going back to school. Grad will return.
You asked me to make a Halloween commercial. We made one on the show last week. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Should I show it?
Yes.
I don't have it ready though. Let me see if I can find it. Usually when I do this, the computer breaks and then Larry starts getting upset. Let me see if I can put it on. Here's a commercial Frankie and I made. And the pumpkin was made by Dop Online in America. Couche-Tard pumpkin. Here's our new ad.
I'm Frankie MacDonald. This is Halloween. This is this show. I am Frankie MacDonald. You are listening to Red Sky Internet Radio Show. See you guys in October 2020.
So there's the Halloween ad.
Right now, Laura is up to Category 4 hurricane. It's going to hit Freeport, Texas, in Lake Charles.
Skipping frames here. Sorry, Frankie. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm missing a lot of the comments. There goes Weather Guy. He just left, so we can take that camera off now. And my brain will be back with everybody. Frankie, what have you been doing on your weekends?
I've been doing great so far. I went for a walk down the boardwalk, and I just did an interview with another internet radio podcast, Jason Marshall. We don't have cookies at 2 o'clock p.m. Atlantic time on every Sunday afternoons. Trey Campbell, ESPN 97.5 on Sunday afternoons at 3 o'clock p.m. Atlantic time.
You've been on We Don't Have Cookies for a while, right?
And I just, the people, the listeners of the Gary Dino show ask me questions on Saturday night. Those are other internet radio shows I go on. Same with Jason Marshall. We don't have cookies. Did you meet him yet?
No, I haven't, but I followed him, and I think we said hi to each other a long time ago. I'll need to check out their shows.
Yes.
We have Jim in Chicagoland from Periscope here. Unfortunately, the comments on YouTube aren't working, and I have someone at the window, and the computer is blowing up, and it's just your normal day at the Bass Guy Show. What do you do when there's too many things going on, Frankie?
That means that your motherboard getting old might be your processor.
Yeah, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm getting old. But what kind of... see, I'm skipping frames here now. What kind of...
It's a video card.
The video card, yeah, that's the Bing. So that if I try to add that Halloween thing, my computer blows up and says no, so...
It's an old video card. That means you need a replacement video card. You have to remove your old video card, replace it with a new one.
I will do. My friend Dave is here. He's an old student from when I used to teach bass guitar at college in Scotland. He's happy I have my 6-string still.
Yes, you got an old GeForce card from
2011. Yeah, it's an old dated video card, so I'm going to update the card soon. So that's why I do my music shows, to try and, pay for the internet bill or equipment or whatever. Hope all is well.
That means then you have to remove your old video card, replace it with a new one.
Here's a question from Twitch. I just reached 50 follows on Twitch, so now I'm an affiliate or something. So thank you, Jason Neubauer. Frankie, this is from the Yummy Bacon Man. He's saying, Frankie, when are you going on tour?
I'll be going on a world tour real soon. I'll be going to every country in the world. I'll be giving those speeches, dancing on stage with women. I'll be doing comedy skits on stage. I'll be traveling to every country in the world. People have to pay at the box office to go see me on stage.
Okay, you're gonna need a. It's gonna be complicated though, because you need like someone to do management and take care of all like the bookings and the travel and the
What
places
about
to
the
stay.
translator for countries that don't speak English?
You're gonna have a translator like on stage, like translating for you.
When you go to other countries that do not speak English, what about dictatorship countries? You have to have a lot of bodyguards.
I guess technology is so good now, you could just speak and some kind of like computer, like your phone or something, can translate on a screen so people could read. Like if you were in Poland, for example, that you could say something like, hey, everybody, it's Frankie. Dzień dobry. Yes, moje imię jest Frankie MacDonald.
Somebody
And then,
translates that to Polish.
okay, so Jim in Chicagoland. Oh no, I'm skipping frames. Is saying, will the storm surge from Hurricane Laura affect areas near Houston?
It's going to affect parts of Houston, Texas, near Houston, and Galveston. Mostly going to affect Louisiana-Texas border, like Freeport and those places. That's going to affect oil rigs and things like that.
I'm gonna see if I can take a few things. So what happened is I had the window camera out. I took all the cameras out to make the show work better, but then I ended up having to plug them back in. It's boring computer stuff. So you think if I get a sound card, all this computer stuff will stop?
Once you get a sound card and a video card.
Let's look at YouTube, because YouTube is not working as well. It's not on Restream for some reason. We have Danny Galley in San Diego, and he is saying, hi, BG, good to see you live. Wait, no earthquakes, please. So what can Danny do? He lives in San Diego.
You have to brace yourselves. That means lock your dishes in the cupboards when you're indoors during an earthquake. Go underneath the tables. Go underneath the chairs. When you're outdoors, don't go inside the buildings during an earthquake. The earthquake can do damage to buildings. Make sure have your medical kits, emergency kits, flashlights, candles, extra batteries, crank up radio generators, battery operated lanterns, and bottled water ready as well.
So here's Jim in Chicagoland. He was on the show last week. You sang happy birthday for his daughter, and I think it meant a lot to her. So Jim's in Chicago, and he says, thank you, Frankie MacDonald, for the Twitter follow.
Yes.
So you talk to all your fans whenever you can, as much as you can, right?
I talk to a lot of fans. I'm gaining a lot of Bitcoin fans now.
So can you explain to me how Bitcoin works again?
Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. One Bitcoin, that's around $11,700 American.
So one Bitcoin is a lot of money then, right?
10 Bitcoin, that's around $116,839 American. 100 Bitcoin, that's $1,168,390 American. 1,000 Bitcoin, that's $11,683,900 American. 10,000 Bitcoin, that's $116,839,000 American.
Wow.
100,000 Bitcoin, that's $168,390,000 American. 1 million Bitcoin, that's around $11,683,900,000. 10 million Bitcoin, that's around $160,839,000,000 American.
That's a ton of money. So it's worth more than the U.S. dollar, right?
Yes, worth way more.
Here's another question. How long will Base Guy's cold front last, Frankie?
That means warmer and colder will be fighting each other this time of the year because transition from one season to another.
Do you think it'll get warm in Montreal for a little bit again?
It gets warm in Montreal and cold fights back, warm and cold fighting each other. There's another tropical storm, Nan, that's going to develop sometime next week.
It's the battle between summer and fall.
Battle between two seasons.
The battle between two seasons. I'm trying to do the YouTube thing here. How many combined views do your videos have on YouTube, Frankie?
On the combined views on my YouTube videos, it has, and then the total subscribers I got 253,000, and the combined views I got is 41,876,830 views grand total.
But you can't possibly talk to all your fans, eh? There's too many people watching.
Too many people watching, that means
Luke Birch is on YouTube asking, Frankie, will you hire bass guy for anywhere that speaks French or Polish?
And the base guy, and that means, and the Polish, that's another country altogether too. Are we going even in Russia, Taiwan, and those places?
Let me see the questions here. So there's a question here somewhere. So if you have any questions for Frankie, please ask anything you want, and here's Tony. Sir, can I get Palm Bay, Florida weather?
Palm Bay, Florida. That means that tropical storm missed them.
Thank you, Tony. So, Frankie, what's the weather going to be like from Wednesday to Friday in North America?
Warm air and cold air fighting each other. There's a windstorm in Europe right now, too. And South Korea's getting hit by a typhoon. It's going to head towards China. Florida's getting lots of thunderstorms, things like that. New Zealand's getting really cold weather right now.
They're going to have their winter starting, right?
Their winter's finishing up.
Frankie, I thought today we would feature the song that we wrote together, the CV Blues. Remember we made that video?
Yes.
Frankie was making a joke about how when we finally get a good vaccine, there'll be so many people that want the vaccine at the same time. How long will the lineup be at the pharmacy?
Yeah. The 200 or 100 or 1,000 feet. In the army, you have to be there.
I saw your post, Frankie, that said, how fast would a car go if it went like 1 trillion, billion, zillion, billion miles
then the
per
car
hour?
goes like Thanos, his fingers snapped like Infinity Gauntlet snapped like.
Aha. You could go, if you go that fast, you could travel in time, right? If you're going light speed?
Yeah.
So-
Oh my God. There's another cold air headed for South Island, New Zealand next week. It's headed for Invercargill, New Zealand. That's going to bring snow in Invercargill, New Zealand on August 31st.
So you're monitoring the weather on your computer all the time, right?
Yeah.
We did a GoFundMe, and Frankie's fans got him a brand new laptop. You've been using it for the weather, right?
Yes, I've been using a lot.
I bet you the video card in that is really fast, right?
I just took pictures of my old laptop, posted on social media.
Okay, amazing, Frankie. Your fans love you, Frankie. They love when you reach out to them and when you say their name and stuff like that. And sorry, we were saying before that the coronavirus blues. So we like you predicted that the sergeant would have to come to the pharmacy to control the people, and you said that the American army would be out in the streets. And then 2 weeks later, that actually happened.
The army will be screaming at the sergeant, will be screaming, lining up to get a vaccine.
That's exactly. So how loud would the sergeant be yelling?
Very loud.
So Frankie and I made a video before all of this happened, and it's just ironic how it played. It's like you predict the future, Frankie.
The sergeant had to be the street for the vaccine. And that means there'll be transition into fall next month. That means weather starts getting colder. That means leaves are changing colors on trees already in Inuvik, Northwest Territories, at Taktoya, and all those places up in Dawson City and in Yukon. Leaves are changing colors up there already. This is their fall year.
And what about school? There's all this stuff on the radio about different countries and provinces and states. They're all having trouble deciding when to go back to school and if to go back to school.
And what about third world countries?
They have to go back to school as well. Any advice for people with the fall coming up? How can they get prepared?
That means that you have to wear your hoodies and things like that. Hoodies and sweatshirts and things like that. You have to wear fall gloves and fall hat and things like that. Some people start to wear winter hat in October for the fall.
Thank you, Frankie. And is it safe to go to the stores with coronavirus out there? Like, any advice for shopping?
Right now, people wear masks because the government has issued the masks. That means that, like the provincial government in each province, they issue their masks like their own province. In the states, their own state government issued their masks, like Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York, and things like that. Like the governor of Indiana, governor of Illinois, they do their own thing. The governor of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and North Dakota, and South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, and all these places. And same with each republic in Russia, they issue mask orders like the leader of, like their governors over in Russia, like Republic of Sakha, where Bolot lives. He got his own governor, same with Magadan Oblast and Tatarstan, Kazan. And that's their capital in Tatarstan, Russia, and all these places. And all those they're kind of like province or state. Like they issue their mask orders in their own state government over there.
Like here in Quebec, if I go to the Couche-Tard, for you it's called the 7-Eleven, we have to wear a mask. Is it the same in Nova Scotia?
Same in Nova Scotia, except for eating, except for lifting weights in the gym and things like that. That means when they're eating, people with special needs, they have to wear face shields. Like autistic people, they have to wear face shields rather than masks.
Wow, you really know your stuff, Frankie. You've got everything. Wait 1 second here. Some problems from Larry. So, yeah, you really know all your stuff, Frankie. You're up to date with everything.
Like people that live in group homes and institutions, they probably have to wear face shields.
And what do you think is happening with Russia? Said they had a vaccine or something last week? What's up with that?
Sputnik 5, it's named after a Soviet satellite.
Sputnik 5. So it sounds like they're trying to have a competition and like be better than their nemesis America or whatever. Like,
and the British are ahead of the game than America too. Like Oxford University, UK is ahead of US too. Another Commonwealth country besides Canada.
Imagine calling your vaccine, I said virus before, imagine calling your vaccine Sputnik 5 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
like, when the British really approves a vaccine, they might name the British vaccine called King George vaccine.
King George vaccine. It's like having a vaccine saying, we are more superior than you vaccine. It's like when Trump came on, he said that his ventilators were superior. Like it's a competition.
They might call it King George the 6th vaccine.
We have Jim in Chicagoland on Periscope saying, will your world tour include a stop in Chicago, Frankie?
Yes. That's where Willis Tower says. That's the home of the Blackhawks, home of the White Sox, home of the Cubs, home of the Bears. And NFL, home of the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls and Chicago Blackhawks play in the same arena.
I've never been to Chicago. I hear good things about the blues scene from Chicago, a good, healthy blues scene. Is there any music happening in your area? Any gigs?
They got Andrew Doyle. He goes down to the old Triangle on Friday and Saturday to perform. Andrew Doyle, he's a local musician. He does his music down to the old Triangle. He's a nice guy. He plays his own songs. He's
cool.
a local entertainer.
Could you film him one day for me, just like for 10 seconds or something?
Yes. Andrew Doyle. That means he's a nice guy.
Sounds like a nice guy. You have a lot of friends in Nova Scotia, don't you?
Yes, and Andrew Doyle got his own fans. Yes, he does. He's not like me. He's only local. I'm international.
Yeah, he's local, kind of like I'm local. You're international. You're famous over the whole entire planet, right?
Yes. He's only local.
Here's a question from Twitch. What weather can the UK expect this week?
That means it's going to be more windstorms in UK.
So Frankie, what do you predict is going to happen with the coming of winter? Is it going to take a while? Is it going to come fast in your area, my area?
That means winter comes fast out west. Like Montana starts the winter in October, and South Dakota starts their winter too. They get a lot of big snowstorms in South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota, and all these places. They get a lot of big snowstorms in Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, and in Nebraska, they start their snowstorms earlier. Manitoba starts their snowstorms. Calgary starts their snowstorms long before us.
So, Frankie, I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously, but I have this theory. If it's been so hot this summer, it was like the hottest summer ever, could there be a chance that there'll be less snow in Canada? Like it won't snow as much?
They probably get so much snow in Western Canada because La Nina, the cold waters in the Pacific.
So they don't usually get too much snow in the west of Canada, but this year they're going to get a ton of it, right?
Yes, because of La Nina, the cold waters in the Pacific.
Will Tony John is saying, will Frankie go to Kenosha?
Yes.
Kenosha, okay. You'll go to every place in the world, won't you?
Yeah. Including
Montreal, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. If there's anything else you want to mention or talk about, Frankie.
So, according to Ben Campbell, 300 Frankie MacDonald action figures sold within August.
So here's the Frankie MacDonald action figure. I'll let you see it. You can order it online if you want. Help support Frankie and his friend Ben. Ben made these, and he had to hand paint the tooth on
3,000 of them.
3,000 of them, and they've sold out already, and you're making another batch. What's the story again?
300 sold so far from the existing batch. 300 sold within August.
And the idea is, if you buy these, if you're wherever you live, say you live in France, and you go to the Eiffel Tower and you take a picture of this and post it and tag Frankie, he'll repost it for you and share it and tweet it out, and you'll be part of the Frankie effect. Frankie, have you been watching any films? We used to always talk about film at the end of the show.
Yes.
Movies?
On those films, I was watching TV, things like that. Did you hear about that? And I saw the X-Men, the Dark Phoenix. It's the last main X-Men movie in the prequel series. The original X-Men is X-Men All the Way to the Last Stand. The prequels is like the X-Men First Class, the X-Men Days of the Future Past, the X-Men The Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix.
Those are Marvel films?
Yes. And did you hear about that? I saw movie Barbershop 3, The Next Cut. Ice Cube was in that movie.
Ice Cube. And you've had famous people retweet your tweets before. One of them was
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah. You ever listen to his music?
Yeah. And he was in Sydney, Nova Scotia 10 years ago.
Oh, cool. He came down to the mall or something?
He came down to the Big Fiddle.
The Big Fiddle. We arrived at the Big Fiddle when you were working at the mall on Friday at 1, and we met Jennifer French from the NDP. From that.
Then in the evening, I met Mew and Kajen.
Yeah, we went for a walk, and we had ice cream and stuff, and we hung out, and there was a lot of cool people on the boardwalk. I went and saw the war memorial on the boardwalk as well.
And did you hear about that? And a lot. Then basically, then I was signing books and things like that.
Yeah, you were signing books, and your hand must have got tired, eh? There was a whole line of people down the shopping mall ready to sign your books. That was a big day for you, Frankie.
Yeah.
Any plans for the future? I guess your world tour, right?
Yes, I'll be going to every country in the world.
Have you got any ideas for anyone that's going to help you do it, like a GoFundMe or a manager or something? No?
Not yet.
Well, you have time right now because the whole world's taking a break right now. Thanks for doing the show today, Frankie.
Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to Bass Guy Internet Radio Show. This is Frankie MacDonald. My own team stays alive in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major storm. It's going to bring a lot of rain. It's going to bring 2 inches of rain or more in some places, including lots of flood. That's going to bring down power lines and snap a tree branches. That's going to knock off power. It's going to bring lots of rain. Winds are going to be pretty strong. That can cause flood. Winds are going to be very strong. That's going to cause big waves, slash up beaches.
So thank you so much, everybody, for watching today. That was Frankie MacDonald. We're here live every Wednesday if you want to talk to us and ask questions. It's just a chill out for fun thing that we do. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, MySpace, AOL. You've got mail. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next Wednesday at the same time. And like I said, I'd like to end the show with a new video that Frankie MacDonald and I made called Coronavirus Blues. Bass Guy loves you. No fear. Roll the clip, Larry.
Show and tell is what we're gonna do. It might be old to him, but new to you. And it doesn't even matter if you've seen it before. Bass Guy, show and tell. Show and tell.
I wrote the song Coronavirus Blues. It is by Bass Guy Show and Frankie MacDonald. Hear about that? Just imagine if they found a drug or treatment for COVID-19, like a remdesivir. What happens? They found it, and if it works great, they have to have the drugstore. They have to.
What's so funny? We're having fun here today. Frankie's. We're just gonna laugh today, everybody.
Military will be there. The sergeant will be there.
One of our viewers is saying that Frankie's laugh gives me life. The line will be so long, Frankie. It'll be 19.5 kilometers long to get the vaccine at your local drugstore.
The army will be there. Sergeant will be there. And have to have army at each drugstore. And I'm sending you a video about the drugstore and things like that. And I'm sending you a video now.
19-mile long line at the pharmacy because everybody will want the vaccine at the same time.
Yes, that means I sent you a video about the Marine Corps boot camp. But that means you're going to edit the video and post it on your wall. The sergeant will be there. What about the helicopter?
Because the drill sergeant will have to, the military will put a helicopter, and because that's how the drill sergeant will get there.
The line will be so long to the drugstore to get a treatment, remdesivir drug or vaccine. The sergeant will be there. And did you hear about that? The sergeant will be screaming.
Coronavirus blues. Coronavirus blues. Coronavirus blues. Coronavirus blues. Everything was normal, but now that's all just news. A cure will come, we'll see, on the shelf of a pharmacy. But the line will be so long, 19 miles strong. Sergeant is mad, yells at you, get in line, it's the new helicopter on the roof, martial law, the truth, everything's fine, okay, it's just another day. Wash your hands and wait in line another decade and we'll be fine. Coronavirus blues. Coronavirus blues. Coronavirus blues. Coronavirus blues. Everything was normal, but now that's all just news. Hit it, Frankie.
Sergeant will be really mad at the drugstore outside.
Thanks, Frankie. So thanks for watching the Bass Guy Show. Thank you, Frankie MacDonald. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, everybody. I'd be honored to be part of the Squirrel Awards. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, all the applications and everybody for watching. The Bass Guy Show is live every Monday, Wednesday with Frankie MacDonald, and Friday. Monday and Friday I jam out, and I'm only on Twitch and Periscope. Wednesday is the only day that I do all the apps, and that's just to reach out to Frankie's fans. Thank you for watching. Take care. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. Bass Guy loves you. No fear.